Thanks a lot, Uday. Thomas, how do you feel leading to the round 64?
I'm feeling very good. It was not the last match yesterday. It was not so good for me when I lost. But today is a different story. So this is knockout stage, and I played against Francesco, and he's a really great player. I have to try my best to beat him.
Okay, all the best to you. Over here on my right side, Francisco Django Bustamante. Django, it's win or you go home?
Well, you don't know. I can't say nothing. Masasabi ko lang, siyempre, gagawin ko magagawa ko rito para manalo. Alam mo naman itong tournament, single elimination, siyempre, lahat naman ng makakalaban, mabigat. Kaya, hindi ka nakakasiguro. Titingnan na lang kung sino magandang tira.
Well, as far as Django's concerned, he knows it's a do-or-die match. He's up against a very strong player. In fact, the field is really all very strong. He says he's going to go out to do his very best. Uday?
Thank you, Anthony. And it is do or die because it is the knockout round. We have that first match coming up for you in just a short while. We're going to take a short commercial break right now. Do stick around with us. The 2006 Philippines Local Championship. We'll be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome to the Philippines International Convention Center. It's the 2006 Philippines World Ball Championship. Brought to you by Maxim Sport and Rail Sports and Events. And a very warm welcome to our viewers joining us live here on ESPN, joining us for the very best in 9-ball action. And a very warm welcome to our viewers joining us around the world. Welcome to the capital city of Manila. Well, it's a race to 10 with alternate breaks. Our referee is Nigel Reese. It's now time to meet our players. Please welcome home to the Philippines, the player of the year. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Django Francisco Bustamante! And our former World Ball Master, it's the Smiler, Thomas Engert!
So here we go then. No second chances, no mistakes. It is sudden death. Race to 10. We're at the last 64. You get it wrong today, you're out the door. Simple as that. And this is a draw, Jay, that these two fellows wouldn't have picked for themselves. Thomas Engert would certainly not have drawn Francisco Bustamante if he'd had the choice. And I'm not sure that Django would have fancied taking hold of Thomas Engert either.
Well, they're friendly rivals. Bustamante spent 15 years in Germany. He just moved back to the Philippines last year. These two have played each other many times over the years.
And a pretty good group stage, getting past the qualifier, Jerome Pena, and then blowing away Darren Appleton, who had all sorts of problems. But the 8-5 winner of the Crown Prince was not Bustamante's finest hour last night. I think I used the phrase blinded by the glare of royalty. Something was certainly bothering. He wasn't on his A game.
He didn't need to win the match to get through.
Yeah, and didn't it show? As for Thomas Engert, a very, very experienced player, world ranked 3, and his first 2 matches, he went off like an express train. But Lee Van Corteza brought him down to earth, but it was the same deal again. That third match, he'd already done enough to get through, and the edge was off. We saw a lot of that, those third matches, didn't we, Joe? That the guys that were through, mentally, a lot of them went walkabout in their third matches.
They relaxed.
You better not be playing that game now. No room for relaxation. Who wins the lag in this race to 10? And that looks like Engert just has nicked it.
It kind of feels like 2 tournaments this week, Nick. The first tournament's over. Now we got the second tournament. This is the knockout stage. One match and you're out.
With Charlie Williams or Sando Tote to come for the winner of this one. Already through, Lee Hei-wen of China. He's had a terrific tournament so far. He's into the last 32. Who will join him there out of these two? Engert underway first of all.
Race to 10 now. The group stages will race to 8. These are longer matches.
He doesn't get the wing now. He doesn't get the wing ball, and I think he's come up dry.
Yes, he has. He's left Francisco a shot at the 1, but Francisco's going to be jacked up over the top of the 6 ball, so it's not an easy shot.
We haven't seen too many dry breaks on this TV table. Well, this is the worst possible start for Thomas Engert. Wouldn't have wanted this.
It's going to be a little hard for him to cue here.
Yeah, that 6 ball's in the way a little bit, but should be able to get down there. The question then becomes, what happens with that 2? Does it pass the 5? Or will he have to look for a combination?
Well, he's got the option of, if he can make the 1, he can also play a safety off the 2.
I think that's what he's considering right now. He's not looking at the pot. It's what happens next.
He's even considering playing safe off the 1 ball here, I believe. Although I'd be surprised if he doesn't shoot at it. He's looking at all his options.
Push out called.
Interesting.
That's very interesting. When would you see a push out when a player can not only completely see the object ball, but he's actually got a decent shot on it, and he goes for the push?
Frankly, I'm surprised too.
Is that an indication of where he's at mentally, I wonder? Or is he being clever here?
He doesn't like the looks of his rack, so he wants to give it back to Thomas.
Well, that's a strange start.
I don't think Thomas wants to give this to Francisco. He's going to do something here. Now, obviously, he does not have a shot to make the 1 ball, so he'll play safe. Probably drive the 1 down table and bring the cue ball back over near where he's at. Well, he didn't.
Well,
that was fair. Francisco actually has a pretty good safety here. He can come off the left edge of the 1 ball, bring the cue ball 2 rails all the way back up behind the 4 and the 6 ball, excuse me, the 7 ball. I think that's what we're going to see here. Yep, he's going 2 rails. He wants to hide back up here in the corner. Looks like it's going to work. Yep, not there.
the crowd goes wild, of course.
Thomas is going to have to go 1 rail, sending the cue ball just below the side pocket and down into the 1. Problem being that even if he hits it, he may leave a shot.
This table's a mess, Jay. It really is. It's a strange-looking start to this match. Nothing easy coming out of this rack. It's a mess. Maybe that's why Bustamante wanted no part of it. And I'm still very, very surprised at that push-out. Anyway, somebody's got to take a ball on at some point. This is not that point.
It's not an easy ball to hit here.
It's not.
He hit it. Okay, Boostie's got a shot. What I suspect he'll do here, Nick, is play the 1 on the side, off the side. He's going to shoot the 1 off the side of the 8 ball into the side pocket, and he'll have a shot at the 2. All he's got to do is hit the edge of the 8 ball, and the 1 ball will go in.
Yeah, that 8 really helps him, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. That's his sideboard.
just like that. Now, has he got that shot on the 2? Yep. Boy, didn't that just open up the table?
Straight in on 2 ball. He can draw the ball off the rail and come back up table for the 3. See that inside English? He makes the ball go the opposite way. There it goes. This is probably the trickiest shot of the rack, not to make the 3, but to get on the 4. The 4 is partially protected by the 7 ball. He's thinking about it.
No, there's some movement. Somebody just coming in. The stewarding has been pretty good here. When a rack's in progress, they are stopping people from coming in, but
somebody slipped by.
Yes, and that's a real shame. I know you can't let these outside distractions get to you, but he was lined up there and he had to retune, and I wonder if that was the result.
These pockets are tough. These are very difficult tables. Every player I've seen on these TV tables has missed shots. They must maintain 100% concentration at all times.
So Engert with his first chance to put a ball down, which he does. Now he too has that little problem of getting on the pink.
Very tricky position here.
He's got to watch his cueing there. He should be okay. A bit of room for him to work.
It's a little tougher shot for a left-hander here. He may have to use the bridge. Wow, I don't know about this shot. I think he's going to have to use the bridge. The good thing is, Nick, if he makes the 4 ball, he'll have a shot at the 5.
He's just rethinking it, isn't he? But he hasn't made any... well, yes, now he has. He's taken your advice, Jay. You got a wire down to Thomas somehow that we don't know about? Some coaching going on? I guess the day Thomas Engert needs coaching from you.
Yes, he'll be in trouble then.
They don't need too much advice from anybody in this commentary box, these players. There's the shot on the 5.
I like his chances now to finish this first rack. What we've seen a lot of on these TV tables is safety play back and forth.
Yes.
There have not been a lot of racks run.
Jerry Forsyth and I were talking about this yesterday. We need to get a statistician on this. How many times has there been a break and the guy can't see the next available ball? We must have had 35-40% of the racks like that. It seems every other rack we've got safety. And that's how this one started out. You'll see
a lot of push-outs after the break shot. He's going to get the first one.
Yeah, we got there in the end, I think. Bustamante's tactic of the push-out and drawing Engert into a tactical battle certainly didn't work here in rack number 1. The German has claimed it. First blood to Thomas Engert in this race to 10. Long way to go.
No mobile phones, no flash photography.
Well, it's Germany versus the Philippines on table 1, but here on table 2, it's the Netherlands versus the Philippines. Nick van den Berg and Jeff de Luna are closing in on 2.5 hours of this marathon. De Luna's on the hill. Van den Berg is looking to join him there. And this one, they've been like a couple of terriers locked into each other's throats right from the start of this match. But now, there is no hiding place. Van den Berg's got to get a good break just to get on the hill with De Luna. And he's got something down, and I think he's going to get a look at the one, is he? Well,
not bad.
Yeah, he'll take that. Boy, this one's been a mentally tough match for both players, hasn't it?
Well, I'll tell you, these are both very tough first-round matchups. These are great players here.
Van den Berg, who got through to the round of 64 in his winner-take-all shootout with Gandhi Valier of the Philippines, now finds another Filipino in form in Jeff de Luna, the 22-year-old who's really emerged from the pack to book his place here in the round of 64. Not well known outside of his native country, but making a name for himself these last few days.
He's one of the rising stars in this country. This is the key shot right here to get from the 2 to the 3. The 2 is a relatively easy ball to make, but getting position on the 3 is critical. If you can get past the 3, the rack is wide open. The 3 is up there near the 4 ball by the side pocket.
Well, the good news for De Luna is that whilst Van den Berg has control of the table, it's De Luna that will break for what will maybe be the deciding rack. Here's the shot of this rack. As you say, Jay, if he nails this one, and this is far from given, he should be all right for the rest of it.
He's going to have to cut this 3 ball down the rail. Not an easy shot. The good news is he doesn't have to worry about position, Nick. If he makes the 3 ball, he'll have a shot at the 4.
Stood up.
Ball hit the side rail.
This is bad news for Nick van den Berg. 2 hours and 26 minutes into this match, he may have played his last shot. Boy, those balls don't look too insurmountable, do they? 6 balls for a place in the last 32 for 22-year-old Jeff de Luna.
I like his chances right now. They're sitting good.
Well, of course, what you got to do is try and keep that adrenaline under control that now will be coursing through those veins. And I like the way he's taking his time and just not jumping up there and snatching at anything, because his pulse must have quickened.
Good point, Nick. You want to always stay calm, cool, and collected playing pool. That's perfect. He's happy with it. Nothing too difficult here, just keeping your nerves calm.
Boy, isn't that easier said than done.
This would be a huge win for Jeff de Luna. Nick van den Berg is one of the top players in all of Europe.
Well, it confirms what a lot of people around Manila this week have been saying, that Jeff de Luna is poised to break out into the big league. And that simple miss, well, it wasn't a simple miss, was it? It was a tough red, but that one miss might have sealed this man's doom. It's a cruel game sometimes, but Nick van den Berg, I suspect, will look back on this one and say that one red 3 cost me dear. It's such a on paper, simple looking clean-up here for DeLuna, but he is taking a long time about it, and why not?
Nicely done there. Take a break, have a drink, powder your hands. He's very poised. He looks comfortable.
He's trying to hide the smile, isn't he? Because pride comes before a fall, isn't it? You've got 3 balls to put away before you can start smiling, but he knows. He's done this 1,000 times. If you gave Jeff Luna that in a knockabout match with a couple of buddies, he would nail those 3 without a glance.
In a moment. It's a little different situation now. This is the World Pool Championships.
Yeah. And you don't want to be letting Nick Vandenberg back into it. 2 to go.
Nothing too difficult here. Just make the ball, let the cue ball roll back down the table for the 9. Like you said, just keep your nerves steady and you'll be all right.
Very noticeable that DeLuna has slowed his pace in this match. He was fairly brisk around the table during the group stages. He's been much more deliberate here. I mean, he is making such a meal out of this ball, and you can't blame him at one level, but on the other hand, you're thinking, Jeff, it ain't difficult, buddy. Let's get on with it. Unless there's a trapdoor on that table that we can't see that he's trying to avoid. There we go.
Being very careful.
Could have been better with that, but I suppose we'll have no end of clearing up of lint and banging the chalk on the apron, and yeah, got to towel that cue down. Get the towel back out.
It's probably a good thing he's taking his time right now.
Jay, there's taking your time, and then there's deliberately slowing it down on this fella. This fella has slowed it to a crawl. It's almost as if he's just extending poor old Nick Vandenberg's torture here. Because I think Nick, when he missed that 3, took one look at that table and said, oh boy, this is lights out.
Well, this is the first time Jeff's been on the world stage like this. He's feeling the heat a little bit. Look at how he's studying this shot.
Well, this for a place in the last 32 at the World Championship. Easy. Good win. 22-year-old Jeff DeLuna pulls out what has to be considered a bit of a shock. Nick Vandenberg, a Mosconi Cup veteran, dumped out of the competition by a man with no international pedigree at all prior to this week, that is, Jeff DeLuna, through to the last 32. So it's all smiles around table 2, a Filipino win.
Handshakes for everyone.
That's the one that's cost Nick Vandenberg everything. After that it was a simple clean-up, even though DeLuna took an age over it. And that was the shot that put the Filipino through to the last 32. Well, we'll return to table 1 and Francisco Bustamante and Thomas Engert when we return.
Nick and Jay.
Yeah, let's take a look at what Jeff DeLuna's got to look forward to now. Vincent Fake or Lee Kun Fang await. DeLuna won't be too distressed about that, with almost Polish and Luong Chi Dung of Vietnam also through to the last 32. DeLuna, in fact all those guys will look at that and say, well, I could be in the last 16 here, and the possible opponent in that last 16 could be one of these two. Thomas Engert and Francisco Bustamante. A lot of water to go under the bridge before we can start talking about that, though. Here we are, one apiece in rack 3. Engert took the first one, Bustamante the second. And it's Engert at the table now.
A little safety shot there. You know, Nick, we're going to be seeing Filipinos and Chinese Taipei players in many matches. 25 of them in total got through to this 64.
Yes, it never proved we needed that the twin powerhouses of Asian pool are Chinese Taipei and the Philippines. That's it right there. But others have come through from this part of the world.
He was shooting at it.
What a bold attempt that was. But it might cost him. Engert's got a nice looking table here.
I don't see any problems for him here. Nice little draw stroke.
This one up for Thomas Engert. In retrospect, I wonder if Bustamante would like to have that shot back because it ceded the table to Engert. Another tough rack is done and dusted and in the books. 2-1 to the German. Okay, we've had the phony war. Now these two fellas can get down to serious business.
I feel like we've got a long way to go in this match. As I said earlier, these two have met many times before over the green belt. Bustamante has a winning record overall, but the last two times they played in World Championship matches, Engert got the best of them. And I know Django remembers that.
Oh, you can be sure he does. Boy, look at him dialed in. Waiting his chance.
Rack 4, Francisco Bustamante to break, turning 1 rack to 2.
One of the most feared pool players on the planet for the last 20 years, right here.
He's torn that rack apart, hasn't he?
Powerful break.
And look at that, he's got a good look at the one. There's a little meld there. 7 and 8 are a little bit close for company, but 7 will certainly pass into the side pocket. So there's a very good chance for a break and run out here for Bustamante.
This is probably the key shot of the rack right here. Make the 1, get a shot at the 2. Wow, he hit that bad. You hear it? It almost sounded like a little bit of a miscue there.
It did, didn't it? That was the sort of shot he was playing on a regular basis last night against the Crown Prince when we were all saying, well, he's playing like a man with nothing on the line here. Well, there's plenty on the line now, and he's still coming up with errors like that. That, I hope, is not a foretaste of things to come for Bustamante, because if he's going to start throwing errors into his game on a regular basis against Thomas Engert, he cannot win this match.
A couple of those and that'll cost him the match. This is a tough shot to cut in. Very thin hit on the 1 ball.
What does he have off this?
Came out perfect though. He went around those balls, which was good. He didn't want to run into either one of them.
There is a very good chance of a run out here for Engert, who has no business being at the table, quite frankly. And it would give him a break on the Bustamante serve, a chance for 3-1, and a break to go 4-1. That's how big that miss on the 1 ball could prove to be. When you've got players of this quality, and it's the same in any sport, whether it's an individual sport or a team sport, the dividing line between success and failure can often be determined in 2 or 3 moments, and that could have been one of them.
The momentum of the match will shift on a shot like that. If Francisco would have converted the one, run out the rack, the momentum is his. He wants to get fairly close to this 4 ball because he knows the position for the 7 is critical.
This would appear to be the last remaining tricky shot of this rack.
He wants to get the cue ball all the way down close to the 9.
The pot is not a problem. Position is what he's got to play for, and that looks pretty good.
He couldn't have done it better with his hand. Slowly roll forward with the cue ball, just like that.
He's playing a good pace, Engert, isn't he? He's not rushing around the table, nor is he putting any false pauses into his game. He's just getting on with business.
He's looking real comfortable right now.
This is the Thomas Engert we saw in those first 2 group matches when he dropped just 1 rack. The Bustamante miss on the 1 did indeed prove expensive. Engert gets the break. 3-1 and a chance to get back at the table for 4-1.
Francisco appears a little out of sorts right now.
Yes, not looking too clever for Bustamante, but a long, long way to go in this one. Meanwhile, over on table 5, things are boiling up nicely. Pat Holtz on the hill against Tomu Takano. Pat Holtz, the Scotsman, he of the resplendent kilt and devoted, doting girlfriend, is a familiar figure around here. And it's a guy that's really been growing into stature year after year at this tournament, and now he's poised on the threshold of a place in the last 32.
Boy, he's crushing Tamayo. 9-3, that's a huge lead.
And breaking from the hill as well. Very nice controlled break from Holtz.
The soft break, but it worked pretty well.
That looked pretty good in the group stages. And he's obviously carrying that form on here. Scotland's sole representative of the 128 who started out. There is the possibility of an all-British final 32 match. Kevin Uzel, if he wins, will take on Pat, assuming Pat seals the deal here. England versus Scotland is always a little bit spicy, Jay, as I'm sure you're aware. Got a long way to go there. Kevin will probably be the underdog in his match. He's got Chen Junling of Chinese Taipei. I don't think Pat Holtz could care less who he plays in the next round. He just wants to get there. Played that with a lot of drag.
I don't think he got there for the 2 ball though. Maybe just a hair short. You can't see it from this camera angle. He's looking down there too. That kilt looks real comfortable, but I don't think I want to wear one outside.
No, that wouldn't be my fashion statement, I must admit.
In my neck of the woods, that might get me in big trouble.
But if you're a Scotsman, you wear it with pride.
He's looking like he wants to shoot this ball, but it's close. He's got a tight fit there. Get past that 5 ball. He's jumping the cue ball a little bit.
And didn't make it. So he can breathe again. And Tomu Takano.
He's still in good shape. He's got a big lead.
Oh, yeah.
And with that alternate break, it's hard to overcome.
So Pat Holtz, who said in his pre-game interview he wants to put Scotland on the pool map, poised to do just that. Here's a battle between two nations who are very much on the global pool map, the Philippines and Germany. Thomas Engert at the table.
Looking like he wants to bank this one ball cross side. No, he played safe. Did a good job of it, too. Two ball right in the way.
What's Bustamante's safety game like? I mean, he's known as a good all-rounder. Is he solid playing
Very
safe?
solid. Unfortunately, he doesn't have it. He's not good with the jump cue. Many players would pull jump cue out right now and jump right over the two ball. He's going to have to kick at the one.
I would think every single player from Chinese Taipei would have had the jump cue out for a start.
He should hit this ball no problem. Oh, he missed the ball.
He's
One hand.
Another critical error.
These are very worrying signs. This is the Bustamante we were watching last night against the Crown Prince.
No reason for him not to hit that one ball.
That's two unforced errors. Well, no, that was a forced error. Let's face it. It was a snooker, but
it was a wide open ball.
It was gettable. Yeah, it was gettable.
I think Thomas is going to jump on this one too. He senses that Francisco is a little weak right now.
And in this game, as in the other game, an opponent shows a sign of weakness, you punish them.
Go for the throat.
He's up and running. That's cleared the 3, so he's got to look at the 2. If he gets position on the 3 off the 2, it's going to be tough to see him stumbling on this rack.
Nothing really too difficult here. Just maintain his focus.
Hello.
He doesn't really care if he makes that ball. That's okay.
He's got away with one. That was not where he wanted the cue ball to be. But as you say, Jay, got away with it. And that ball going down is academic. Slow draw. And he's got himself up on the rail here. So this is not great control of the cue ball in back-to-back shots. He's made that harder than it needed to be.
You're absolutely right. He'd rather be a couple inches off that rail right now. All he needs to do is roll forward, though. He did it.
Yes, now it looks like he's back where he needs to be. Getting enough of an angle to get himself back up the table for that 8.
You'll see a big draw stroke here. He wants to suck that cue ball right back up the table. Again, he's got to bend over the 8. He tucks in his shirt. He's not even close to the 8. He's all right. Not bad. That'll work.
4-1. Assuming he puts these 2 balls down, that's asking a lot for anybody to come back from a 3-rack deficit against Thomas Engert. Ooh, that wasn't too far away from disaster, but he's got away with it. 4-1 it is going to be. Francisco Bustamante better wake up. This round of 64 match is getting out of hand already. 2 errors from Django. 1 forced, 1 unacceptable at this level. They've put the Smiler in charge of this one.
as he stretches his lead, he becomes a little more comfortable.
Some winners today: Jeff Deluna, Vilmos Foldes of Hungary, Luong Chi Dung of Vietnam, sending a representative to the last 32 for the second year in a row. Lee Hei Wen from China, boy is he playing well this year. And Ryu Seong Woo of Korea has booted out Lu Husun Chen of Chinese Taipei. All those 5 highlighted players through to the final 32. And one or two of those names we did not expect to be seeing at that stage of competition.
Thank you, rack 6.
That's an upset down there at the bottom. Beating the Chinese player.
It's good to see players from Vietnam and Korea and Hungary contesting the latter stages.
The American player, Charlie Williams, originally from Korea, has done a lot to develop the pool program over there.
Well, we're back to one of those breaks, aren't we? Plenty of action off the break, but no shot whatsoever on the one ball.
He's going to have to push out. Francisco's looking a little disgusted right now.
This is a critical rack for Bustamante. 4-1 adrift. If he would have dropped this one and then gets up next, that would probably be the end of his campaign. It is must-win time, and this is not what you need. A lot of scenarios for Django here, and most of them bad.
There's really no good place for him to push out to. He's going to have to push out to a difficult shot and probably end up taking it himself.
Yes, this is the art of the push out, isn't it? It's put yourself into a position where you can see a shot and hope your opponent doesn't spot it. And at the same time, just give your opponent a little bit of bait. You don't want to make his decision too easy for him.
Very strategic. Somehow I get the feeling, watching this match, that Francisco's thought processes are not the best right now. Normally, if he's playing well, he would know where he wants to go pretty quickly, and he just can't make up his mind.
It's a hangover from last night, isn't it? And Jerry and I were talking about this as we saw one or two other players going through the motions in a match that didn't mean anything to them as Thomas lines up his shot. And once you drop that momentum and that edge, you can't just assume you're going to pick it back up again. Goodness knows what he was doing last night against the Crown Prince.
Yeah, that match was ugly.
And it's carrying on here. You can't turn it on and off.
I think Thomas is going to give this back to Francisco. I don't think he wants to shoot this shot. Frankly, I'd be surprised if he takes this one on. Yes, he invites him back to the table. He's listening to me.
I tell you, we always have a steward's inquiry on you and Thomas. If you two are on exactly the same wavelength. I suppose the difference is you can see the same things as he can. He can execute them as well.
That's a big difference.
That was a bit hit.
Oh, he got lucky there.
Oh, yes, didn't he just? It was a bit hit and hope. I'm sure he wasn't looking for that. Because if he hadn't put that ball down, look what he would have left. There's no way he played for that.
He was actually trying to bank the one ball cross corner. Missed it so badly that he fluked in the 3. Now it looks like he might shoot the 1 off the 2 into the side. No, he played it in the end. Hit that ball well.
That's a better shot.
That's the best looking shot he's had in the match right there. He's definitely not out of this match. If he wins this rack, he's only down 2 games, and it is early in the match.
Well, he needed something to kickstart his attack here. An outrageous fluke is as good as anything. One of those players that is impossible to root against, Francisco Bustamante. One of the real good guys, a real genuine quality person. If you're neutral watching this, Bustamante is one of those you'd like to see win it.
Always a fan favorite. Looking good now.
They say it's better to be lucky than good. Bustamante was outrageously fortunate there. Maybe that'll get him going in the right direction.
Join Nick Hollier, Jay Helford.
Yes, Francisco Bustamante getting an outrageous piece of good fortune. And he's just nipped out to freshen up. So whilst Thomas Engert waits for Bustamante to return, let's cast our net wide and check out what's going on out on table 5, where Pat Holtz was on the hill.
You mean that match isn't over yet?
Still on the hill. Uh-oh. What do they always say? The first rack and the last rack are the hard ones to win.
Absolutely right.
Well, 9-3 and breaking for the match. Now 9-5 and breaking for the match. And Pat Holtz, someone that might just start thinking, I've got to get rid of this guy here.
He made a decent break, but he's got a difficult shot at the one here. And one's all the way down on the end rail. This is no easy setup to make the one or to get on the two.
Meanwhile, Zacano is just trying to hang around at the moment.
Might be a safety. Yep.
Yeah, we're going to be in for another long one. Look at that. The 1, 2, and 3 all joining each other in a little unholy trinity over there. This rack is going to take some clearing up.
Takana's going to have to kick off the side rail at the one ball. That's what he's going to look at next. Let's see.
I don't see this rack getting cleared up anytime soon, because even if Holtz has called in now, he's still got a mess to clear up. So that one goes on table 5.
Engert to break, leading 4 racks to 2.
Pat Holtz will be hoping he can get rid of that last rack and move to the last 32. Here's Thomas Engert looking to get halfway to his goal. Hello. Nothing went down there. And he is going to come up dry.
Once again, leaving no shot on the one ball.
It's 2 dry breaks in this match for him. Is he going to have to start looking at his break a little bit here?
I think what you're going to see next time he breaks, he's going to move the cue ball. He's going to break from somewhere else.
Excellent shot. Oh! Has he got the luck? Well, no, he has not. These things do balance out. He got very good fortune in the last rack. He did not deserve that slice of bad luck in this rack. Well, is that just sticking its nose out there, I wonder? That is a super shot. That's nice a bonus.
Quite a nice billiard there. Very tight. But that was the problem with the shot. He had to let the cue ball just fly. Trying to play safe. Did a pretty good job.
Oh, Engert might want to have a little look at this. More than a little look at this. It's not easy. First of all, the shot isn't easy. Then get position on the 2, because he's going to have to do some work with that cue ball, because that green 6 is floating around in the way.
The distance makes it even more difficult.
And it doesn't pass bottom right as we're looking, because that 9 ball's in the way, and it's a very narrow pocket top right, as we can see, if it passes at all. So that shot on the 2 is not easy, assuming he gets the 1.
Even the 3 ball's a little bit in the way on the position. Now he got past the 3.
He's missed the 3. What does he get here?
He'll run into the 2. Nothing doing here. He's going to have to play safe, but he's got some good safeties. Not a bad shot for a lefty. He can reach out there and shoot this.
hardest escape in the world for Bustamante, this one. And he's got a chance of playing hide and seek himself.
He should have no problem kicking off the end rail here and hitting the 2-ball. It's just, how can he leave a difficult shot for Thomas?
Now, has he got a chance of tucking that cue ball in behind the 9 there?
It's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult. I suspect if he kicks at this 2-ball, he wants to send the 2 all the way down to the end of the table. He wants to put some distance between the cue and the 2. Yeah, he hit it hard. This is not going to be good.
He tried to get that 9. Then he tried to tuck the cue in behind that 9, and that failed miserably, and there's the result. Again, evidence that the Bustamante A game is not quite there at the moment.
Thomas has a long straight-in shot at the 2. If he executes this one, rolls forward for the 3-ball, he's in real good shape for this rack. This is the key ball right here.
It's looking good. That was a shot of some authority from Thomas Engert, wasn't it?
Very well said. Hit that ball solid.
You can often tell how a player's feeling the way they hit a ball. That just looks as if Thomas Engert expected to make that shot. And if you're in the Thomas Engert camp, that is sending out a very positive vibe.
Contrast with how we saw De Luna playing in his last rack. He was very tentative.
Even though he got the job done. Narrow little channel to navigate here.
Wait a second here. I don't think he's going to make this ball. I don't think he got there. He wanted to go further. He wanted to go further and shoot the 6 in the side. He did not get there. A little lapse in concentration there for Thomas.
Is he going to take the combination on, do you think? Does he have a choice?
He could, but it's a tough shot. He's going to have to play safe here. He may shoot the 6 over to the side rail near the 8 and try to hide the cue ball behind the 7. He definitely can't run out this rack now. He's going to let Francisco come back to the table one more time. That's what he did. He did it well. He did a good job. Played a good safety.
Yes, the handcuffs are well and truly on with this one, aren't they?
Maybe we're going to see a jump cue.
Yeah, it's tough to see how he gets there if he doesn't use the jumper.
This is a relatively new weapon for Francisco, and in the past he always kicked the balls. He kicked the balls so well he never needed to use a jump cue, but not an easy jump shot here. Anytime you're against the rail like this. Little chance of making the 6 ball here. All he can really hope for is a good hit. Look at this. That's a no-hit. Fortunately for him, he tied up the 6 ball.
Isn't he fortunate?
Thomas just smiles. As you can see, Francisco has to work on the jump shot a little bit more.
That's a very, very fortunate tap on the 8.
Well, we're going to see another safety just like the last one. 6 ball on the side rail and the cue ball tucked behind the 8 again. I suspect that's what he's going to do. You know, they're playing the 3-foul rule here. That means if a player fouls 3 times in a row, they lose the game.
That's a good rule.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen. Hit the the edge of the 6, lay it over on the rail. It's going to look like the last shot did.
Yes, Bustamante's going to be getting the chopstick out again, I suspect, if Engert executes this right. That stuck its nose out.
He can see the edge of the ball. The best Francisco can hope for is to hit the edge of the 6 ball and leave the cue ball on the very far end rail. Oh, wow, he went down. It worked. It worked. Delicate touch there.
It worked so well that I'm not even convinced Engert can play the combination. That was a super shot from Bustamante. Had everything. Placement, accuracy, touch.
Thomas wants to shoot off the edge of the 6 ball here. What he's concerned about is shooting the cue ball right into that corner pocket. Our lower left corner pocket. He's got to avoid that. Well, the 9 is in the way. He can't scratch. He's looking at the cue ball's going to run into the 9.
That's what I'm wondering if he's looking at. This rack with just 3 balls up, 4 balls, excuse me, it's starting to look really messy.
That excellent safety Francisco just played has given him a chance to win this game. He needs to make another good safety here. He might be banking the 6 ball cross side. It's a little hard to tell if he's got room, but no, he played safe.
Has he got safe? That's not easy, but it's makeable.
Again, what makes this shot so difficult is the cue ball's laying right on the rail here.
Yeah. That was the element of the equation that Bustamante got right. But he would have liked that object ball to be another 3 or 4 inches further up the table than it is.
I think Thomas is going to shoot at it. If he misses it, you'll probably see him overcut the ball. That way the 6 ball will go back to the end rail. Nice shot. Nice shot.
Yeah, that really was a good shot.
This has become a very tricky little rack. Thomas is faced with a bank shot now on the 7. He's got to bank the 7 and it's uncertain position for the 8. Looks like he missed it.
Yeah, by a long way.
He banked it short on purpose in case he missed. He knew it would come back to the end rail. Bustamante actually can cut this 7 ball in the corner right by the 9, but it's a difficult shot. Now he played safe, hit the cue ball behind the 9.
There aren't too many safe houses on that table, but Francisco Bustamante's found one of them, and that is 2 excellent safety shots in a row. This all beauty, isn't it? Sorry,
that's okay. It was all brought about by that first safety where he kicked off the end rail. Thomas can hit this ball. He can go to this left side rail, down to the end rail, behind the 7 and hit it. Difficult, but certainly not impossible. It's a fairly big ball to kick at. But he's going to give up a good shot. Francisco's going to like this.
Oh, isn't he just? broadcast. Filipino fans in the crowd can barely contain their enthusiasm for this. Now it's Engert's turn to suffer. We still have a long, long way to go in this match.
Francisco got the best of that safety battle.
And he's right back in business here. He's breaking next, assuming he cleans up here. He's breaking for 4-all. That was a tough old battle, but in the end, it's Bustamante that's played himself right back into the match.
That rack may have rejuvenated him a little bit.
Oh, that's changed everything.
See what's happened to that whole match.
So Bustamante is back in business. What about Pat Holtz out on table 5, who seems to have been on the hill for an awful long time? And he's still on the hill, and Takano is still in business. Pat Holtz has just missed that 8-ball. He was 2 balls from the match. And boy, is Pat Holtz tightening up here with the winning post in sight.
No easy pocket for the 8-ball for Takano. Looks like the 8, yeah, he wants to shoot it in that corner pocket. To his left, to our right as we're looking at it.
Yes, Takano's looking at the possibility of 4 in a row here. If he can clean up.
He's a little wary of that corner pocket with the cue ball, too. It's going to go very close to the other corner.
Now this is Pat Holtz's big moment. If Pat Holtz can't clean up from here, he may never get in. That might be all she wrote for Takano. Doesn't he know it? Well, when you're 9-3 adrift, you've taken your safety net away, so any little lapse, you're going to be punished. And this is the moment for the big Scot. Pat Holtz for a place in the last 32. That's putting Scotland on the pool map. Took him a while. He was on the hill an awful long time, but the big fella's there. 10-6. Pat Holtz is through over Takano of Japan. Yeah, that was hard work, wasn't it, Pat?
A sigh of relief there.
Oh, yeah. Something I like about Pat Holtz. He always knows where the cameras are. Yeah, but where's Pat's girlfriend? She always gets the kiss after the match. Anyway, Pat next will face Chang Jung-ling or Kevin Uzel of England. The Chancellor from the West Midlands will be the underdog in that one, but it could be England versus Scotland in the last 32, which would guarantee some British interest in the last 16. Meanwhile, here on table 1, Django Bustamante had a beautiful break and has nailed every shot since and is within 2 of leveling this one up at 4 apiece.
That little error by Engert in the last rack where he didn't get position on the 7-ball was very costly.
Bustamante, courtesy of some great safety play and a terrific break, is playing himself right back into this. 4-4, when it looked like 1 point he could have been staring at 5-1, even 6-1 possibly on the Engert break. It's a different ball game now. It's like a different Bustamante now. Here's what's going on elsewhere. Look at that, the number 64 seed. We said forget seedings, they don't mean anything at this stage. Ronnie Alcano, 5-1 up against the number 1 seeded player coming in, Roberto Gomez. Jerome Payne, the qualifier from the Philippines, who only just got through, he's through again against the number 2 seed Louis Kondo of Australia. That's a big win for the qualifier. Torsten Owen 6-4 up against Tyler Adey. Xia and Kuo just about getting underway in an all Chinese Taipei challenge. Race to 10, of course it is not a race to 8, it's a race to 10. So all those games in progress, we will keep you updated.
Brand new match now, 4-4.
So just to confirm that Jerome Payne is not through yet, because it's no longer a race to 8, it's a race to 10. There is hope for Louis Kondo.
Nice break here. Can he get a shot at the 2? Nope. No pocket for the 2. We will not see a push-out, though. He will play it safe off this 2 ball. Probably send the 2 ball down table to the end rail behind the 9 and bring the cue ball back and hide it. Probably see the cue ball end up somewhere around where that 5 ball is on the end rail. Cue ball at one end, cue ball at the other end. That's what he's trying to do. Was not successful with that safety.
Is there an angle there, I wonder? Can Bustamante get enough of this to put it away?
I don't think he can make it, but the important thing is he can see it, meaning he can now play a safety and tie up Thomas.
I'm not sure if he can't see it, if he can't make this. These angles that we see on TV deceive the eye sometimes, but that's mighty close to Bustamante wanting a piece of this, you know.
I don't think he can see the edge of the 2.
No, I think you may be right, but boy, it's close. Yeah, it's tempting him, isn't it?
Yes, it is. You're right about that. He's thinking about it. Can I make this ball? I think what we're going to see is he's going to try to leave the cue ball on the end rail and send the 2 back up table. There we go.
Exactly right. Hello, that's travelled a bit further than it looked like it was going to, so it's all worked out. But if we start getting into a safety war, certainly the rack before last, it was Bustamante that came out on top.
As you can see, Thomas cannot shoot directly at the 2. He's going to have to go to that side rail first. I think what we'll see him try to do is go 2 rails out of the corner. That means right by that corner pocket, knock the 2 back down the table and leave the cue in that area where the 2 is now. 2 rails, not badly done.
Hello, that needs to put the brakes on. Well, he couldn't get it last time. He may have a look at this.
Francisco will be shooting at this one.
And it's where the red 3 is that makes this one such an easy shot, well, easy in relative terms, because the 3, can't even see it on the table, it's just to the right of screen, virtually, there you go, hanging over that top right-hand pocket. So there is a wide landing space for Bustamante with this cue ball.
All he really needs to do here is make the 2.
He's overcooked it. And now it'll be Engert's chance with a tough cut. That wasn't the easiest shot in the world, but he's missed it by quite a margin.
He missed it badly. Engert's in a similar situation. He's got a relatively difficult shot on the 2 ball, but if he makes it, the rack is his. Hit that badly.
No, he's unlucky. Now, can Bustamante see it? That's the question. Can Bustamante see this blue?
It's a pretty tight window between the 8 and the 7 ball. That's what he's looking at. Can I get through there and make this 2-ball? I think he can.
Yeah, and virtually any contact. He may even go off that rail and slide it over. Just come off the rail and flick it in.
If he hits the point there right by the 2, he should be all right. Oh, he had lots of room.
He had lots of room. He didn't need the rail. Now he's got to go coast to coast again. But this one, a very straightforward shot.
This one, the problem is only in the position, not making the ball. But if he rolls up the table just a little ways towards the middle, perfect. The rack is wide open now. Busty's poised to take his first lead of the match.
And I'm still not convinced he's on his A game, Jay. If he's got his nose in front, not quite firing on all cylinders, that's a good sign for him because he's got another level he can find.
His B game may be good enough as long as he can stay close to the balls. He's going to take the lead for the first time, 5-4.
Well, when that blue didn't drop, that opened the door for Francisco Bustamante, who now has his nose in front for the first time in the match. But can he keep it there? He's halfway in this race to 10.
Let's get back to your commentators, Nick Holling and Jay Helford.
Louis Kondo and Jerome Pena are really now at the business end of things. Pena, the qualifier, what an extraordinary world championship he's had.
This was not a good shot.
No, it isn't. That's a shame for him. He's had 3 hill matches in qualification, including a hill match against Bustamante. He lost his first 2. He won the 3rd one, and that was good enough for him to sneak through as the 63rd seed. Louis Kondo, in contrast, blitzed his way through 3 matches in the group stages, and yet here he is fighting for his life. Pena has thrown him a lifeline. It seems Pena only does hill matches. I wouldn't be at all surprised if another one pops up here. Kondo's going to get out of trouble here, I think. Boy, did Pena let him off the hook. That one's going to run and run. We'll rejoin that when they're both on the hill.
Hey, got confidence in Kondo.
Oh, I've got confidence in Pena. He only does hill. I wouldn't be at all surprised if this isn't 9-all at some point. These two.
It's been a total reversal in this match now.
This is true. Engert's, you're right. Engert has lost momentum.
Bustamante's won the last 4 games in a row.
And breaking for 5 in a row. He doesn't get the wing ball, but he gets plenty of other action. But,
nice break.
I think he can see the 2. I think he's all right. He's in business.
A little tricky to get a good shot at the 3, but he's got to cue a little bit over the 3 ball here. A pretty difficult bridge. I think we'll see him just make the 2 and try to keep the cue ball as close to that rail as he can. Oh, he went. Wow.
Where's that going? Where's that going?
No good. He was trying to play position in that little bitty area by the corner pocket. Very difficult shot, but at least he can play a safety. And he's gotten the best of these safety battles the last couple of times.
Yeah, you're right, Jay. He really is. This is one phase of the match where Bustamante's the governor at the moment. That might not be one of his better safety shots, though. Look at that. He's left the whole ball comfortably for Engert. He's got distance, but there's no hint of any eclipse there on either cue ball or object ball.
Well, what we're going to see here is another safety battle. Thomas would probably just try to bank the 3 ball back down the table. Basically, what I think he'd like to do here is have the cue and the 3 reverse positions, with the cue ball at that end and the 3 ball at this end. Although it looks like he might be shooting off the edge of the 3. I don't like this shot that much. Very dangerous. This is a dangerous shot. He better get lucky here and get behind his ball. Wow, it worked. It worked.
Yeah. Well,
It worked.
in terms of the execution, you couldn't have done it much better than that.
I'd say Thomas was a bit fortunate here. If the cue ball runs into the 5.
Yes, the margin for error was paper thin there, wasn't it? As you say, if he'd hit the 5, and it didn't miss by much, Bustamante's in business.
As it is, Francisco's going to have to kick off the side rail, right by the side pocket there. He may hit this hard and try to get a little lucky. Like that.
Oh! Hello. Was the technical term for that hit and hope?
You called it. You called it. Thomas can cut the 3 ball in. It's going to be a little tricky to get himself a shot on the 4 ball, though. Not sure what he's looking at there. I know he won't play this combination.
What is he looking at then? If he's not going to play that, he's spending an awful lot of time looking at it.
The only thing I can think of is he might be thinking about playing a safety. This shot makes no sense playing this combination. It's just too difficult. His angle is all wrong.
It doesn't even look on, does it? Never mind.
Oh, it wouldn't be a bad shot if he was much closer to the 3 ball.
Is he going to give it a go?
This has got to be just a safety. That's what it is. Use the 9 ball to stop the 3.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nicely done, though. Right now, Thomas has got the upper hand in this safety battle. Francisco can hit the 3. He can go behind it on the end rail and run into it. But it's going to be highly likely that he's going to leave Thomas a shot.
With that 9 temptingly over a pocket now as well.
What he's trying to figure out is which side of the 3 ball does he want to kick into? The right side or the left side? And I don't think either one's a good choice. He may hit this one hard too. That same strategy. Hit it and hope.
Yeah, he wanted to and then rethought it. If in doubt, get a bit more chalk on that tip.
Well, it's not all bad. Even though Thomas can see the 3 ball, I don't even think he has a side pocket to bank into. So the hope worked.
Again.
The safety battle continues. Looks like he's going to send the 3-ball up to the other end of the table, bring the cue ball over close to the 9.
They're both double clutching on their shots now, aren't they? The stakes are building of each rack. And this is going pretty much according to script. We didn't expect a runaway train in this one. These players too good, too well matched.
Very evenly matched. Here we go. Bring the cue. Boy, if the cue ball goes behind the 9.
Oh, that'll help.
Did a good job there. Did a good job. We're seeing a lot of very strategic games of 9-ball. Unlike some tournaments that I've been to where it's all run out, run out, run out. Thomas has maintained the upper hand in this particular safety battle so far. Francisco's going to, he'd like to make this ball. He'd like to kick the 3-ball in the corner pocket.
Hello. This could be big trouble. Well, if that doesn't put a smile on the smiler's face, nothing will.
The only pocket Thomas has is in that upper right-hand corner pocket.
Top left as we look.
There you go, top left.
Has he got it? Yes, he has.
Now he's in pretty good shape. Draw the cue ball straight back for the 5, just like that. Nicely done. Looks like we're going to have a tie ball game again.
I get the feeling not for the last time. This one's got a way to go yet. The one thing we don't know, Jay, is who's going to be celebrating victory tonight. I wouldn't want to call this one.
This is too close to call.
Engert just going to make sure here. The 9 will go down with a blindfold on.
No problem. Thomas appears to be playing with a little more confidence than Francisco.
And yet, the scoreline doesn't reflect that. The scoreline shows that they are running neck and neck. 5 apiece. Well, if memory serves me correct, Engert is due up next with a chance to get his nose in front. That was another nervy, strategic battle. This time the German came out on the right end of it. Well, all 6 tables still in action for the round of 64, so let's return to table 3 where Louis Kondo is still going to stay alive.
Same rack, but he's in good shape here. Kondo could pull within 1 game of the lead.
Yeah, this one looks destined to roll on for a way yet. Kondo lines up the 9-ball for his 8th rack. Wow. Misses.
That's it.
Is he going to fluke it? No, he's not. No, he's not. Wow. And he's given it up. What about this for a story? I'm sure the most surprised guy in the whole place is this fella right here. He lost his first 2 matches, got past against Darren Appleton in the Hill match to book his place in the last 64. Now he's taken out the number 2 seed. Jerome Pena, the qualifier, is in the last 32, where the winner of Steve Davis and Fabio Petroni awaits. There were 21 Filipinos that started out in this field of 128. I would have said he'd have probably been the bottom of that list to make it to the last 32, but here he is, and plenty of his more illustrious compatriots have already fallen by the wayside. If you want a Cinderella story, that's the one to follow, isn't it?
Another relatively unknown player on the international circuit, but there's gobs of great Filipino players.
You run into hordes of them at 4 o'clock in the morning as the pool halls are emptying out. All of them would fancy their chances on a table like this.
While they play on these tables, these Brunswick metros, all day long, the Filipinos eat, sleep, and breathe pool. So they're very comfortable on this equipment. A nice break shot here.
Yes, Engert with a very nice break.
We may actually see a break and run.
Good grief, however will we cope?
It would be our first of the match.
Turn it off, please.
Well, isn't it strange? The one thing we always say, that they reseed for the round of 64. The number 1 seed is the guy with the best record through the group stages, and we always say, oh, it counts for nothing. And yet already we've seen the number 1 and 2 guys kicked out of the tournament. It really doesn't count for anything.
Yeah, I wouldn't put too much credence in that seeding in the round of 64, because they're all strong players.
Exactly. All we need to hear is Renato Alcano was seeded 64. There's not a player in the competition would have fancied their chances against him on his day. Now, do we have that break and run out? Well, there's every chance.
He'd like to break like that every game.
Yes, wouldn't he just?
No time wasted. Perfect position on the 8.
And it looks like Thomas Engert is going to get himself back in front. But don't forget it's Bustamante coming up next to make it 6-all. And at this stage of the match, as it's a sprint to 5 now, nobody can afford a dry break or anything like that. Engert, with a terrific break and run out, re-establishes his authority. Ranks seem to be coming in bunches of 3 and 4 for these 2 players at the moment. Now it's Engert that's in the loop, and Bustamante on the outside looking in.
Francisco is noted for his powerful break, but it hasn't been working very well today. He needs to come up big right now. We've rounded the turn. Here we go.
Torsten Homan and Tyler Eadie, 7 apiece in this race to 10. Lots of other matches just getting started. Watch out for Kwopo Cheng there. Now on table 5, last year's beaten finalist up against Xia Hui Kai. That's a real one for the purists. 2 very good Chinese Taipei players there. Ralph Suke is just about to get into action. Oliver Ortman and Earl Strickland are tightening up their cues as well.
Rack 12.
What will we all do today?
25 racks to 6. So quiet, please.
There aren't many dud matches around today, are there? There's something going on everywhere.
Boy, he hit those hard and scratched.
That could be very significant. And he's put plenty down, and look at that table. Just look at what the Smiler is going to be coming up to here. He's 6-5 to the good. If he can steal this rack and come up and break and run out, 8-5, 8-6 rather, yeah, 8-5 it could be very easily. Bustamante would be in a real hole. So a great chance now for Thomas Engert.
This is a nice layout. The balls are all spread out, nothing tied up.
Well, you mentioned it, you almost prophesied that. You said, Jay, that the Bustamante break was not impressing you, but we didn't expect that.
He hit those balls hard and lost control of the cue ball. This match is coming down into the home stretch soon.
It's boiling up very quickly.
Thomas should clean these up as long as he doesn't flinch. He's not happy about this because he's got to hit the ball hard and make the cue ball bounce off that rail. Wow, he opted to go the other way. Very careful. Shoot the 8 directly in the upper corner there. Just stop the cue ball right there. No problem.
This could be a very significant moment in this match. Indeed it is. Off the scratch, Thomas Engert stepped up and said, I'll put some daylight between the two of us. He will break for 8-5 in this race to 10 when we return. Welcome back to the World Pool Championship on ESPN. Roberto Gomez and Ronnie Alcano nearing the finish line. I had Gomez beaten earlier. Of course, it's a race to 10, not a race to 8. But when you're 9-1 down, your hopes are flickering. And all those terrific group matches that Gomez played don't mean a thing now. He needs an absolute miracle to come back from this.
The real Ronnie Alcano has shown up here.
So you just got to do that.
This is tight here.
It is. He's made it.
A little sloppy on the position right there.
Yeah.
He looks real lackadaisical right now, like he's given up. He's just firing away.
Oh, when you're 9-1 down. Now, is he going to be ridiculously lucky?
He's watch this. He's going to walk around the table and just kick at it right away.
When
He's disgusted.
When it's not your day, it's not your day.
He's disgusted.
That was a collision with the black, and that might be lights out.
Well, it's a little tight getting the 7 ball by the 8 into the corner. I think it fits. We'll see in a moment here. Yeah, it goes. That's it. That's it. This match is history.
Well, as we said earlier, seedings mean nothing now. Number 64 beats number 1, 10-1 if this 9 goes down. And who in their right mind would want to face Ronnie Alcano in this kind of mood? Well, he crawled in by the skin of his teeth, but now he's here. He's here to stay. Ronnie Alcano through. He will meet the winner of a match we'll see tonight. Dennis Orcollo or Efren Reyes, which guarantees us a Filipino in the last 16. These Filipino fans won't be too happy about seeing all their heroes bang heads together. Lee Kun Fang has knocked out Vincent Fake. He'll meet Jeff DeLuna next. Ilmos Folders of Hungary against Luong Chi Dung of Vietnam for a place in the last 16 as well. All those men are safely through. Here on table 1, we wait to find out the identity of our first winner on the TV table. Will it be Francisco Bustamante or will it be Thomas Engert? Engert breaking and looking comfortable, 7-5 up.
The ton pulls out. I'm not sure how that helps him. Oh no. Opportunity for Francisco.
Thank you.
That was the 6 ball. The 2 ball. Kick the 1, right? Kick the cue ball right in.
Oh, well.
Francisco's got to start out with this combination, this 1-2 combination.
Well, if you're Bustamante, this better be a 1-2 punch. Because this is a chance to get yourself right back in it. Just when we thought it was Engert that was going to put his foot down and sprint for the finish line, he has scratched. Just can't work this match out. First of all, Engert had all the momentum, then he lost it, then you thought, oh, Bustamante's cooking now, then he lost it, then you thought Engert's in charge, and it slipped away from him again. There's the combo.
You think this might be one of those 9-9 matches?
I wouldn't be surprised.
I neither. Wow, he threaded the needle there. He went too far, though. He went too far. He may have a shot at the 4 in the other side pocket. It's going to be tight. Francisco's not happy about that. He wanted that cue ball to stop about a foot or 2 farther up the table. Yeah, the 4 will go.
He's never quite had this cue ball under control in this match, has he? Little bits here and there have got away from his game.
Like you said earlier, this is not his A game. He's been sloppy the whole match.
In fact, when he had that little run, a lot of it was built on safety play. He's not been potting well. His positioning has not been great. Luckily for him, his safety play has been to the fore. I wonder if he will revert to that, but it doesn't look like it. Looks like he wants a bit of this.
That's good.
That's good. Oh, yeah. That just cleaned the rack out.
I like his positioning here. He can draw the cue ball up table for the 6. Just like that. Perfecto. You saw that shot there, Nick. Francisco was looking right at Thomas when he shot that 6 ball. That's the opportunity where some players might try to shark their opponent by moving. These 2 guys won't do it, but you may see it happen during this tournament.
Yeah, there's a little bit too much mutual respect here for any of that shenanigans, isn't there?
The Chinese are noted for that. Boy, he didn't quite get there.
He's okay, but again, it's an indication that position isn't quite there for him. This is harder than it needed to be.
Left-handed.
You dare not miss this. And doesn't. So they've both benefited from a scratch on the break. We could be back to 7-all here. Just when we thought Engert was going to make his move. What a weird match this is. both heading to the hill. Liu has taken the first one over Earl Strickland. The Riot Police are on standby out on table 2 for that one. Stepping off, 2-0 up over Oliver Ortman. Guoco Cheng with his nose in front over his compatriot Xia. And Ralph Suke with the early lead over Hailey Say, one of those surprise qualifiers from the Netherlands.
26 racks to 7.
Reedy made a big comeback there. He was way down to first and Homer. The only Canadian member of this group of 64.
We have all the German big guns out on the tables at exactly the same time. Ortman, Homan, and Engert.
It's like a good break here.
Has that 2 just cleared that 6?
Francisco just looked at.
He's going to nail the 1 first, but will that 2 pass bottom right? There goes the 2. Will it give him something to aim at? I think it might, you know. Or will he have to try and play it towards the side pocket? I think maybe the side pocket's the safer option.
Looks like it just gets by.
It's wide open in the side if he can get position. And isn't that the key for Francisco? Position. This is the part of his game that's not quite in gear at the moment.
Sit. Don't go off again, that's it. Okay.
There is some clown in this auditorium with a telephone.
Is that off?
And he really should have it rammed down his throat. It's ridiculous that somebody could be so disrespectful.
Well, they've been warned about this before the matches, to turn off their cell phones. He could be asked to leave the arena.
Wow. And that... You don't want to make excuses for Bustamante because they have to deal with these distractions, but you can't help but think a guy that's struggling to find his flow is not helped by some fool with a telephone.
This is a tough shot. He doesn't have a full pocket on the 2 ball. He's got to hit it hard.
He may even clip that green, you know. No,
wow.
It's never going to go. And he's in a world of trouble here.
That was just too tough a shot.
Yeah, nobody's going to need to make excuses for this fella, but this kind of thing doesn't help. He's lined up, he's ready for it, and yet again...
Once again, Thomas comes to the table with a very easy layout. Gets out here, he's got a comfortable 2-game lead and the break.
The irony is, Jay, the suspicion must be that the person in the crowd that had that phone going could have been a Filipino, by the law of averages, and it was the Filipino player that's paid the price for it.
And these are very demonstrative Filipino fans. I wouldn't want to be in that guy's shoes when this match is over. Relatively easy shot. Thomas is taking his time, though. He knows these pockets are unforgiving.
Yes, there is a degree of difficulty in it, but if you want to win this match, you can't miss this. And he doesn't. Well, the sound you hear is Thomas Engert dialing up the right number, perhaps, for a place in the last 32. Well, you have to feel some sympathy for Bustamante. He said, was it sound judgment to go for that 2 because it did not look on to us? You can't blame a ringing telephone for an error in judgment like that.
Somehow Francisco has hung in there in this match, but he has not looked comfortable at all.
At no point, apart from his safety play, his game has not been what we expected from him. And Engert's got a chance to really turn the screw here.
Rack 15, Thomas Engert to break, leading 8 racks to 6.
If he gets a break and run out, he's on the hill. Mind you, how many break and run outs have we seen in this match? 1, 2?
1. By this man a couple games ago.
He has a ball. He has 3 balls.
Look at this break.
Wow. There may be a break and run out here. That is a monster break. Met with complete and utter silence in this auditorium, because these Filipino fans know their pool and they know this is serious now for their man.
The problem here that Thomas is looking at is where will the cue ball go after he shoots the 3? It is going to come dangerously close to the side pocket. If he can get past this shot, yeah, he's looking again. The cue ball is going to be flirting with the side pocket here.
Hello.
Nice table speed. Nice table speed.
Boy, does he use all the pocket.
This rack should be his now.
And showing all his experience, not rushing and snatching at it.
Very composed. Got the right angle. Taking a little extra time here. I was surprised he's going forward. I thought he would draw the ball. Yes. Worked out okay. Worked out okay.
All this came off that sensational break. 3 balls down. The remaining 6 balls spread all over the table. Bustamante will still have a chance. That is the beauty of the alternate break format. But Engert is nearly there if he pots these last 3.
Perfect. It's going to take a commanding 3-game lead.
At a critical time in the match.
You know, Nick, in the old format, when you were playing winter breaks, 9-6 was not a safe lead. In alternate break formats, it's a big lead.
It's a cushion, isn't it? It really is. You've got a safety net to work with. Bustamante is on a tightrope, and it's a long way down. This man's on the hill. And there are glum faces all around this auditorium.
The heroes of the Philippine contingent is in danger now.
And his wife knows it. She's seen enough of Francisco's matches over the years to know exactly what's going on here. Django, a beaten finalist, never a winner of the World Pool Championship. And you look for the little things that make the difference in a match. That certainly contributed to that. Well, again, you have to say, he shouldn't have been taking that shot on, and it's easy to say that in hindsight, I know, but you looked at it and thought, it's not
Rack 17, Francisco Bustamante to
Very low percentage shot there.
6 racks to 9.
especially for a man that's playing good safety.
Good break.
Yeah.
Very good break.
Got a couple down. Is he going to have some good fortune here? He's got a clean look at the 2. Can want no more than that.
That's actually his best break shot of the match, right there. A little bit of a difficult cut shot on the 2, but if he makes it, he's got natural position for the 3. The cue ball will roll up into position, and he knows it.
There's a 6-8 close to each other up the table there, but it's not the hardest thing to deal with, you would think. There's all sorts of positions available to deal with that.
This could be his first break and run of the match.
So he's 6-9 down. Let's say he gets this 7-9. He would have to win the rack on Engert's next break, hold his own break to take it to the hill, and then win against the Engert break again. That's an awful lot to ask.
Particularly because Thomas is breaking good right now. A little bit tough on the 7 ball. He'd like to be closer to it. Nicely done. Good angle. Should be his.
Yep. Just got to come down the table, get a little position, a little bit of position on the 9, which he's done. And he's done the right thing here, Bustamante. He's got the break and run out. You don't want to hand it to your opponent on a plate, do you? Go and make the guy serve for the match, as it were.
You know, this late stage of the match, that's his first good game he's playing.
It keeps him alive. But for how much longer?
This is a player who you would expect to see many breaks and runs in the course of the match.
Well, we're nearly done here, we think. Elsewhere, Liu 3-1 up over Strickland. Stepanov 3-1 up over Ortman. 2 former world champions finding the going tough. Torsten Homan in trouble as well. Tyler Adie's on the hill. Quo still has that 2-rack advantage over Siar. And Ralph Suke is blitzing his way through Heidi Say of the Netherlands. That one going according to the form book. 1 or 2 upsets brewing elsewhere.
Well, what an upset that would be if Tyler Adie knocked off Torsten Homan.
Yeah.
Torsten's one of the top 10 players in the world. Tyler Adie is relatively unheralded.
Well, this could be the last rack, and whichever way this match went, it wouldn't be considered an upset. The only upset would be if one of them had absolutely stormed through against the opponent, because you've got 2 world-class players here. But is this man here, Ralph Suke? Not Ralph Suke, what am I talking about? Thomas Engert, about to get into the last 32.
Another big break, maybe his best break of the match. He's been breaking strong. The last half of the match has been all Engert on the break. That's 3 big break shots in a row he's come up with.
Bustamante may not be taking part in this tournament anymore. Boy, oh boy, look at that.
For Thomas not to get out of here, he'd have to stub his toe.
2 sensational breaks in a row from Engert. And it's his match to lose now. As he's been doing, he's been very careful. I can't see where the problem is on this table. You keep looking for the potential banana skin. I don't know where it is.
None this rack.
It's been a good match, if indeed this is the last 5 balls. You have to say that Bustamante was always fighting it. It's no surprise to see 10-7 in this one. It's not quite been there for Django today.
Thomas has definitely been the best player in this match.
I think even these Filipino fans would have to concede that, and Bustamante be the last person in this place to blame that ringing telephone. That didn't help, but that's not the cause of his downfall.
Thomas is going to be tough to beat in this tournament. He is hitting the balls with authority, and he's pacing himself well.
always a shame when this man goes out. You know it has to happen, but it's so hard to wish any ill on Francisco Bustamante. A player so generous with his time, with his knowledge. A man who just enjoys his game, gets a lot out of it and gives a lot back. But it doesn't look like 2006 is going to be his year either.
Looks like a perfect rack here. He hasn't been out of line an inch.
Bustamante utterly helpless as Engert reads in the last rights. 2 balls to go. And now it's down to a 9 on which he has perfect position. Been a good match this
ball you want to be straight in on is a 9 ball.
Another What a terrific match played by 2 world-class players. Engert always seemed to be in control of it, just. He always had him on the end of his jab in boxing parlance. And a couple of terrific breaks to finish up with, and it's Thomas Engert that goes through to the last 32.
Nicely done by Engert.
Up next, Charlie Williams from the United States or Sandor Tot of Serbia and Montenegro. But right now, Thomas can unscrew the cue, pack his bags, head back to the hotel and get a good night's rest. More challenges lie in wait, but at least he's into the last 32. For Francisco Bustamante and his legion of fans around the world, it's better luck next year. Let's go to Uday in the studio.